Well, I don't know what's wrong with this. Anybody there? There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Always forget to turn the sound off. There. Hi, Kia. Welcome. I just decided to go live and see what everybody's doing. And there's Glenda's Garden. Hello. How are you ladies doing this evening? Making tacos for the kids. That sounds good. My day went fabulous, and I hope yours did too. I tried planting a few more seed and transplanting a couple of plants out of the greenhouse this afternoon because it was been cloudy and rainy looking all day. The sun's not been out. Hi, and there's Glenda's Garden. How's Glenda doing? I know I don't usually go live on a Friday night, but I just figured I'd do it just to see what everybody was doing. I hope this show isn't just for the... No, it's for men and ladies. It's for everyone. I love to have the gentlemen come into my chat. I mean, I have several that usually show up in my chats when they're scheduled. So, yeah, men are welcome. Well, you're welcome, Kia. Or K. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. K-A-I-K-E or K. Or Kai. I'm not sure. You did a little bit of planting today, Glenda? Yeah, I did too. Not much, but I kind of more or less took the day off after wearing myself out, cutting my doors off the other day. Yeah, none of my moderators knew that I was going live tonight. I just decided to do it. Sounds like die but Kai. Kai? Okay. Where are you from? I was wondering about the name. Sounds like you might live in Hawaii or somewhere. That's the one. You got it. Okay, thanks. I have a problem with a lot of people's names, especially when they're spelled differently than I'm used to seeing. Glenda's in Texas. Yeah, see, I thought that was Hawaiian name. I figured you might be in Hawaii or from Hawaii. I have other people in my chat, my subscribers that are from Hawaii. Yeah, I just thought I'd come on here. I got bored. I was getting ready to go watch a movie, and I decided, well, you know what? I'm just going to go live and see what everybody's doing, see who comes in the chat. Kailua Oa. I can't even pronounce the name of the place you're from. It's a Hawaiian name, though. Yes, another viewer, April. Yeah, she lives in Maui. We're teasing her all the time because she's got these good-looking men walking on her beach close to her house in these Speedos. These Italian guys dressed in Speedos on the beach. So we pick on her about that. Yeah, I'm in Texas too, Glenda. So what part of Texas are you in, Glenda? I seen you go live, so I just wanted to see what you were up to. Yeah, I'm not up to much. Like I said, I just thought I'd go live and say hi to everybody, see what everybody's up to, and get on here and chat a little bit. Talk gardening or anything you want to talk about. South Texas, okay. So you're probably down below me. I'm north central. I'm about 35 miles south of Fort Worth and Dallas. Lavaca County. I'm in Hood County. Yeah, I'm about 30 miles from Victoria, Texas. Okay, right offhand, I'm not sure exactly where Victoria is. How do I feel about Tennessee? My brother had recently moved to Tennessee with his wife. She's passed away now, but that's where she was from. And her dad and her sister still live there. And my brother's still there. You know, she passed away this past year. He lives in Mountain City. Oh, you might move the family up there because of the average price of home here. Quite is 1.4 mil. Wow. I'd have to live in the servants' quarters. $1.4 million. I could not fathom that. You're about 2 hours from Houston. Okay. I've been to Houston a couple of times. It's a pretty good, almost a day's drive from here to get to Houston. I know it's a good half a day drive anyway. It's a pretty good drive. What part of Tennessee you thinking about moving to, Kai? Like I said, my brother and his wife's family live in Mountain City. It's not too far from the North Carolina state line, I don't think. I think Mountain City is about an hour or so drive to where my ex-husband lives in just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. You had about an inch of rain yesterday. We got quite a bit. My garden's loving it. Oh, I'm telling you what, it gave my garden a growth spurt. Seeds are popping up. Plants are growing that are already come up. Yeah, you keep it a little warmer down close to Houston than it is up here, but we get plenty hot here in the summertime. Yeah, I got seeds popping up everywhere. It does my heart good to see it. Spring has sprung here early. Is there any special part of Tennessee you're thinking about moving to, Kai? Hmm. Oh, there's Snow White. She popped in. I just now happened to notice that she's here. Hi there, Snow White. How have you been today? What you been up to? Yeah, I just thought I'd come on here, get in the chat, and see if I could laugh and carry on a little bit. Get everybody laughing and cutting up with me. Sleeping. Well, that's a good thing to do, especially on these cloudy days like we've had today. I couldn't get motivated to do a whole lot of anything. I did a cooking video, and that's about it, a short one. But it looked like it was going to rain any minute, so I didn't dare start anything out in the yard. The sun didn't come out all day. It did sprinkle a little bit off and on a couple of times, but that's about it. Now I'm going to start yawning. See, there you did it, Snow White. You were talking about sleeping. It's very cold in New Jersey. Well, see, that'll do it. It gets cold. I just want to hibernate. I'm like an old bear. More rain coming. I think we got more in a couple of days. It's not supposed to rain for a few days yet. But by then we'll need more. My cucumbers have started coming up. Some of them, not all of them yet, but I've seen a couple of them pop out of the ground. And my bush beans that I planted in the green stalk tower, most of them have popped out. I've got a couple of them that are 2 or 3 inches tall already. Do I have grasshoppers? Yep. We have a few grasshoppers here, crickets. And there's Kathy Phillips. Hi, Kathy. How's Kathy doing this evening? It's been about 70 here today, maybe not quite 70. But the rain came through, so it cooled things off just a little bit. How do you keep them from eating your corn and other plants? Well, I haven't really had a problem with grasshoppers. We don't have that many. Once in a while, I'll see one. So if they eat any of my plants, they do very minor damage. They're bad. They're where you're at, Glenda. My allergies seem to be doing a lot better since I've been down in that firesider. It seems to be working. They eat everything up. Yeah, I guess maybe we don't have enough here to worry about. If we have a lot of them, they might be down toward the lake, the water more, than they are up here on this hill where I live. Now, the crickets used to be really bad. Back years ago when we first moved to Texas, this time of the year, you go to the store and you couldn't walk on the sidewalk without crunching on crickets. They were everywhere. They just bombarded the sidewalks. They were in the stores. They were all over my sidewalk out here. We don't have them as bad anymore. I don't know what happened, but I'm kind of glad we don't get bombarded with them. We probably get the crickets here like you get the grasshoppers down there where you're at, Glenda. Probably the humidity. You know, like I said, years ago when I first moved to Texas, crickets were everywhere. Oh my God. Like I said, you couldn't put your foot down on the sidewalk without stepping on several crickets. They were all over the place. You go in a store, they're hopping across the floor in the store. But I haven't seen many of them lately. For the last several years, they've basically disappeared. I remember thinking, I said, I need to catch me a bucket of crickets and go fishing with them, but I never did. I said, with that many crickets around, the fish probably wouldn't even bite them. They got plenty in the water already. Oh, the hornets. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I sent the crickets to you, Glenda. But yeah, you don't see them now on the sidewalks like we did years ago. You don't see them in the stores everywhere. They must have put something out, maybe sprayed around the store or behind it or on the lake bank, because the stores are basically on the lake bank here. So they must have put something out to get rid of them, I would assume, because they basically disappeared. We have hornets or the dirt daubers or whatever they call them. I'm always knocking down a one of those little mud things they build up under your porch. I call them dirt dauber nests, but I don't know what kind of hornet or what it is that builds them. I guess you'd call them hornets. It's a hornet's nest. Dirt daubers, yeah. We have plenty of them. And we've had a few bees for the last few years, which is good. We need the bees. We had red wasp and yellow jackets. We have the bees and the red wasps, but I've not seen yellow jackets here. Now back home you see yellow jackets everywhere in North Carolina, but I don't really see them out here. I had bees last year just bombarded my bird bath. I've never seen anything like it. Every day they were swarming the bird bath. I think it was because of that feature that I put in the middle of it. It looked like a green lily pad floating. And after I put that in there, it was just swarming with bees after that. It's like that thing attracted the bees. Bumblebees love the salvia. Well, I have so many wildflowers and sunflowers and flowers that I plant, plus the garden stuff, that the bees love it here. Oh, that's okay, Kai. Your boys woke up, had to step away. How old are your boys? And there's Randy. Hi, Randy. What's Randy doing tonight? I didn't plan this. I just decided at the spur of the moment to go live. So here I am. What are some basic vegetables you'd plant to become self-sufficient? Greens, for one. That'd probably be the first thing I'd plant is greens. Like your kales, your spinach, bok choy, lettuce. They have hornets with fur on them. Oh my goodness, Snow White. One will be 3 in April, April 25th. The other is 7 months. Oh my goodness, they're just little. They're at the cute age. They're at the age right now that you like to spend time with them and play with them and hold them, and because they're a lot of fun. You want to start planting stuff one day? Oh, you're heading to work, Randy. Well, I'm glad you were able to pop in and say hi at least. I missed you in Thursday night's live. Didn't see you. So it's raining there. It rained here yesterday, and it was real cloudy here all day. I thought it was going to rain again, but it didn't. It sprinkled a couple of times, but that's about it. Little tiny boys, yes, they're angels. That don't want to listen. I know. When my granddaughter was about 2, or before she hit 2 years old, you know how ornery they get when they're that age. You tell them not to do something and they look up at you and they proceed to do it while you're watching them. It's like they dare you to see, just dare you to do anything about it. They just ignore what you tell them. And I told my son, I said, she's a typical 2-year-old. I said, she's almost 2. That's why they call it the terrible twos. All little kids go through it. He said, yeah, but Mom, she doesn't do a thing I tell her to do. I tell her not to do something and she'll look at me and go do it anyway. I said, that's why they call it the terrible twos. Hi, Vegan Menu. How are you doing this evening? My 3-year-old now tells me, move, Daddy, if I'm in his way. Yeah, I'm going to show you who's boss. And they test you to see what they can get away with. We had someone quit when they got their taxes, so I'm back on 12-hour shifts. Oh my goodness, that's some long hours. You're working nurses' hours. My sister-in-law was pulling 12 and 14-hour shifts all the time. I don't see how those poor nurses do it. I mean, I think they could be able to fill their schedule without making all the nurses pull a 12-hour shift. But I don't know. Like you said, maybe they don't have enough to go around, so they schedule them the best they can. Well, they must have got a lot of money in taxes to be able to quit their job. Garden doing is fantastic. I mean, everything is popping up. It's growing like crazy. My greens that survive the winter are just, oh my God, they're giant. Yeah, it's selfish of them just to get their taxes and then quit. They don't think about the heartache they're putting on other people that work there. No, I could not handle a 12-hour shift. The last jobs that I just got part-time jobs because I didn't want to work full-time anymore. And my goodness, my 12, my 24-hour part-time job turned into a 40-hour a week job every week. Because there was always someone not coming in, they were quitting or something where they needed people. So they, you're part-time, so they figure, well, we'll put you there because you're not going to be working. So we'll fill you in where we need you, which it was great for a paycheck, but I just didn't want to work those many hours. Yep, you're exactly right, Randy. Young people with no responsibilities. They'll learn soon enough that when they get bills that they got to pay every month, they're not going to have the option of just walking off a job. I know after a rain, plants go crazy. And we've had rain off and on here for over a week or so, and my garden's going crazy. I've got sunflowers that came up from seed that were dropped from the sunflowers last year, and I'm going to leave them. They're going to be beautiful. You're a defense contractor. If we missed an hour, you're fired. Yeah. Wait till that person that walked off Randy's job gets a bunch of bills on them every month. They get a lot of responsibility on them, and they decide they don't want to work. See what happens. Nobody's going to come in and pay their bills for them. They're not going to have the luxury of quitting a job. Not unless they have another job just to walk right into. Oh, wow, Randy. 54 hours last week, and this week will be over 60. That sounds like the hours my son works. He puts in long days every day, and most of the time, part of the time, he had to work Saturdays and Sundays after he started being a boss. That's one thing about it. They put you on salary, which is salary is great, but then they work you 24/7. And if anything goes on the job, they call him. He's got to go in. So he's got to be on call even if he's not working that day. Yeah, just let them grow. Let them come up wherever they drop and let them grow. They want to grow. Exactly, Kai. When you got 2 kids, a wife, and a house to pay for to keep up, you have to work. Your middle name is work now. I know exactly how it is. There was one time that I was working 2 jobs, 7 days a week, just to keep my bills paid every month. I didn't have the option of walking off the job. Yeah, and when that person that walked off Randy's job, when they quit, they get those kind of responsibilities on them. Guess what? They're not going to be quitting either. Yeah, and the prices keep going up. We can't win for losing. The wages, unfortunately, are not going up as fast as the prices go up. I mean, used to I could afford to buy chicken, cheap cuts of beef, and that type of thing. The way prices are on ground beef, you can't even afford ground beef anymore. I guess it just depends on where you live. Trust me, that's why I'll sadly have to leave this state. Yeah, I couldn't handle a mortgage of over $1 million. I mean, there's no way. No way. $10 a pound for ground beef. Yep. That's outrageous, Kai. Of course, ours is not quite that expensive here, but I know everything seems like is costs more in Hawaii. But ground beef used to be one of the cheapest cuts of meat. And now, oh my God, it's not. Chicken has gone up, ground beef has gone, everything has gone up. And the eggs went up so high one time, I didn't know if I was going to even be able to afford to buy a dozen eggs. And now they've come back down halfway reasonable. Yeah, $10 a pound for ground beef. That's way up there. I'd have to grow my own cows, slaughter my own beef, and do all that. That's $10 a pound. There's no way I could afford that. Glenda's got laying hens. Yeah, so they give you eggs. I know there's sometimes a year when the weather's good that my son's chickens give them tons of eggs every day. But when it gets real hot, they just refuse to lay. It's like the chickens go on strike in the hot weather. And my neighbor said hers do the same thing. She had given me a dozen eggs a couple of weeks ago, and she said she just had eggs everywhere. So they were giving some to the neighbors. But she said in the summertime, when it starts getting hot weather, they just quit laying. I thought to myself, well, make good while they're going. they may they lay mostly in the spring. I know my son was getting worried last summer because he had one of his chickens that just died after they got him. And then they started laying pretty good, and then all of a sudden they just quit laying at all. And I said, well, son, it's probably too hot because that's when it was getting 105 and 110-degree weather. And I said, it's probably too hot on those poor chickens. And that's what it was. The weather was too hot, so they just quit laying. I'm not used to wearing my hair down, and when I wear it down, it tickles my face. I know it's outrageous. Sometimes I'm in wonder when I go in the grocery store. Because even though I got a list, I said, well, I may not be able to get what's on the list. I have to wait and see what the price is. Hi, Nancy McKay. I'm doing great, and how are you? Welcome to our surprise chat tonight. Yeah, I've decided to go live and just see how many people would come in to chat and see what everybody's up to. I guess Randy went to work. I don't see her in chat anymore, unless she's just listening. It's been a gloomy day all day today. It rained yesterday, and then it was cloudy all day today. The sun did not come out. It looked like it was going to rain any minute, but it just kind of sprinkled a little bit, and that was about it. But it looked gloomy. It made you just want to curl up somewhere and just go to sleep and take a nap. Just fine, thank you. Hi. I'm surprised you still on, LOL. Well, like I said, I've only been on for about a half hour. Um, I just decided to go live. I don't usually go live on Friday night, but I decided I'd just see how many people would show up. And I've got 22 so far. I don't know how many thumbs up I've got. 6, 7. Was Sunny there today? Yeah, I didn't want to get started doing anything in the yard today, so I did a cooking video, something I could do in the house. Sunny, where you're at, Kai? Yeah, it was close to 70 here today, but it was not, it was just cloudy all day. The sun never came out. Just a gloomy day. But the plants love it because it's a cooler and it was damp from the rain yesterday and the little bit of sprinkling shower we got off and on today. Plants love it. I'm in East Texas and it rained off and on all day, yeah. A lot of Texas got rain today. I transplanted my first mashed potato melon today. I've never heard of those. So I'm anxious to see if I can grow them. Or it's a mashed potato squash, mashed potato melon or something. But I'd never heard of one. Yes, I've heard that, Kai. I've heard that plants love music. They bloom better to classical music. So they're choosy on what music they hear. Wild. And Glenda said her son was telling her that the other day. Well, I've heard that if you talk to them, they grow better. I guess it's the vibration that they feel from the music or from your talking to the plants? I know I used to have a snake plant that I babied. I'd take a sponge and I'd wash the leaves and I'd talk to my plant. It was a beautiful plant. But I went on vacation and a neighbor of ours came over and she didn't know that she wasn't supposed to water it every single day. I mean, I had watered it before I left and she probably didn't need to water it at all. But she came over and she dumped a container of water in it every single day. And she drowned the poor plant. I came home and it was in a floor planter, and the pot that it was in was set inside the floor planter, so it didn't drip out the bottom. I mean, the water would come out the main pot into the planter. But with her watering it every day, it filled the outer pot up, and it was that far from the top by the time I got home. My snake plant drowned. And I've never replaced it. And Vegan says plants don't have feelings. Haha. Explain the music. Yeah, I think they feel the vibration from your voice when you're talking to them because you're probably usually close to them. And like I said, I always took a wet sponge and I'd wash the leaves off so they always stayed pretty and shiny. And the plant loved it. The plant loved the attention. Yeah, it was a beautiful snake plant. But she loved it to death. She watered it every day and drowned it. It was drowned by the time I got home. It just fell over. There was no hope for it. And she said, well, I don't know what I did. I watered it every day I came over. I said, well, you gave it too much water. You drowned it. I said probably we didn't even need her to come over to check on things, and my snake plant would have been alive because it probably had plenty of water when I watered it before I left. And it would have been fine. You have new salvia. And I can't see the other word. It's behind the heart. Lantana. Whoo-wee. I can't believe how sleepy I got right after I went live. I wasn't sleepy before. Oh no, you overwatered your son's banana tree. Or your son-in-law's banana tree. Well, I got two banana trees, and They look like they're starting to grow a little bit. So maybe they're coming accustomed to the pot they're in. They were so small, I didn't want to put them in the ground. I figured if I put them in the ground, they'd just die. Because they were only a couple of inches tall when I got them, so I put them in the big pots. I said I can transplant them later if they get that big. Yeah, I guess so, because I'm reading the chat and it's making me sleepy to read it, I guess. Yeah, I didn't know how many would be up this late, depending on the time difference. I know where Kai is in Hawaii, it's still early because they're like 6 hours earlier than we are here. I know it's several hours earlier, so 6 p.m., yeah. So it's your dinner time. And there's Loretta. Hi, Loretta. Welcome. Taco time. You're making me want a taco. Yep, it's 11:04 p.m. here too. We're both Central Time. His was a big pot in the house. Oh, he had his in a big pot in the house. Well, I've got mine outside. I don't have anywhere in my house to put a banana tree. I'd have to cut the roof off. I guess it'd be nice to be some of these people that can afford these great big greenhouses and they can keep them heated and air conditioned and grow all kind of trees and plants and stuff in there all year round. I can't afford nothing like that. I don't even have nowhere to put something that big, so don't worry about it. Glenda says she's a night owl. I guess Gladys didn't get notified I went live. She may be sleeping. She's probably asleep. And Connie probably is too, or she'd be here. And Susan. Susan's probably asleep already. Because I think I don't know, she's an hour ahead of me. What, do y'all have big plans for Easter? Oh, I know, Kai, your little 3-year-old was going to have a good time Easter. You have to get him some little plastic Easter eggs and hide them around your house and let them find them. That'd be so cute. Just church and egg hunt. Yeah, she's probably asleep, Snow White. Yeah, it's 9:06 in California. You're 2 hours earlier than we are. That's one reason I don't mind going live late at night, because I know there's people that come into my chat that are several hours earlier than me, so they don't mind coming into chat. He'll be having a blast. Last year I hit over 100 eggs. Still finding them. This year maybe 40 eggs. Well, I'll tell you what, when my granddaughter was little, her other grandmother, we went to their house on Easter, and she hid eggs in the backyard, but they were the plastic eggs. The only thing is she put chocolate candy in them, and it was so hot that day. All the chocolate melted in the eggs. Yeah, if you've got good places to hide the eggs, it's a lot of fun. And then a couple of years after that, believe it or not, we got snow on Easter. And I made the joke that I said, well, Winky, that was her name, she could put all the chocolate she wanted to in the eggs this year and it won't bother them because there's snow on the ground. Chocolate will not melt if there's snow on the ground. No chocolate. No, not in hot weather, you don't. That happened to you with the chocolate melting, Glenda? Well, it was the chocolate that was individually wrapped. And I guess she figured, well, it's, you know, it probably wouldn't. She never thought about it melting. But it was hot enough that day the chocolate melted in those eggs. I remember when I was little, I went to the church Easter egg hunt, and I found this ugly old egg, and I thought, well, this egg ain't no good. Look how ugly it is. And do you know what? That happened to be the lucky egg. I found the lucky egg, and I won the prize. And the whole time I thought it was so ugly. Oh, if they stay out there very long, it doesn't take them long to melt, even if you freeze them. You hid the eggs all over the house. Well, that's fun to do. Years ago, we hid real boiled eggs, and that's the one I found, but it was the way they dyed it, it was real ugly. And they said, yeah, but that's the lucky egg. That's why they did it that way. You found the lucky egg. I don't know. I did some transplants this afternoon, Randy. I put one of those mashed potato melons. Um, I transplanted a hillbilly tomato. I transplanted another uh, Charleston gray watermelon. And I think I moved one of the canary yellow melons too. The rest of them are too small in the greenhouse to take out yet. I mean, they'd probably live if I, make sure the dirt stays on the roots and I don't uproot them. I don't know. I've got more stuff to plant, but I've got to get those other those big green pots um, fix with compost and garden soil and everything else so I can get them ready to plant. You're planting a bunch of seed this weekend, Glenda? And I think I might drop another cucumber seed or two in the buckets where I've got cucumber seeds started. Do you know if any of it has started coming up down at your neighbors yet, Randy? You'll have garden growing from your house all the way to your neighbors. And I know it's not funny to you. I mean, you probably did a lot of work getting your stuff planted, and then that big rain come and just washed everything down the street. Corn, okra, watermelon, cucumbers, green beans, squash. I didn't plant corn. I mean, I know it will grow here because the seeds in the bird seed fall sometimes and it'll come up on its own. But I've never really tried to plant corn. Wait until April. A lot of it drowned, you think, Randy? Oh my God, my potatoes are growing out of the totes. And they really need to get more dirt in there, and I just haven't had time to go do it. Because I've always heard you're supposed to bank the dirt up around the plants, as they're coming up. Mine are up almost 2 foot tall. And I need dirt. I need to put dirt around them. I just haven't got to move it yet. Oh, there's a lot of corn. I know when I was a kid growing up, my dad always planted corn, and he planted popcorn as well. Because we love popcorn. We'd get a thing of corn, shuck all the corn off of it, throw it in the pot, pop us some popcorn. You had standing water for days, Randy? Oh my. Have you seen signs of any of your seeds that are left that maybe have come up anywhere around where you planted it? Popcorn is a different kind of popcorn. Well, hey, it grows just like regular corn. And my dad grew both because he knew we loved popcorn. We'd go out there and get us the ear of corn, break the corn off and let it dry. And then when you shuck those kernels off, all you do is throw them in the pot with oil, pop you some popcorn. No, it doesn't grow in bags with butter. It grows on an ear just like regular corn does. The only thing is, before you pop it, you got to let that ear of corn dry. The kernels will dry, then you take them off of the corn cob and put them in your pot and pop them. Yeah, if you ever grow a garden, Kai, you need to grow you some popcorn. Your kids will love it. But it's the easiest thing to grow. I mean, I don't eat that much popcorn anymore. I'd grow it or try to, but my dad used to, like I said, he grew it every year back home in North Carolina. Nothing better than fresh grown popcorn. collards, onions, cabbage, and bok choy. Well, I've got okra coming up. I've got little okra plants about an inch tall. I've got tons of little pots of bok choy. I've got a bunch of little pots of rutabaga. I put one little plant in each pot, and the pot is about not quite a gallon size pot. So I figured the pot would be big enough to handle one rutabaga. Because sometimes those rutabaga roots get pretty big. You had blue popcorn. Yeah, there's all different colors of popcorn and regular corn. Yeah, that's one thing I'm fortunate about. I live up on this hill, and when it rains a lot, my yard does not flood. I'll have standing water in my yard for maybe 5 minutes after it quits raining, and it's gone. Now, people down below me will flood, but I'm on the top of this hill, so all the water goes elsewhere. That's the reason I have such a hard time keeping the ground wet. That's why I started planting in buckets and totes and pots and everything else, is because that's the only way I can keep enough water to my plants to keep them alive. If I didn't, by the time they got big enough and mature enough to start producing, it would get so hot on them, all the plants would die from the heat and the dryness. And I was going to mention too that Shelly Edwards, she's not in chat, but she sent me a St. Patty's Day card. And she asked me a week ago, did you ever get the St. Patty's Day card I sent you? And I told her no. She said, well, you should have got it. I sent it, it's been long enough that you should have got it already. But it finally came yesterday. And she had put a couple of packages of seeds in it. She said her daughter had bought her a bunch of seed. So she had too many, and she said she was going to share with me. And then also but that's from Shelly. But then I also got some from my anonymous giver. Carrots, turnips. I love turnips. I got winter squash, buttercup winter squash, blue winter squash. I've never seen those before, the blue winter squash. Where they grow like that. And then collards. And I noticed I do have one of my collard trees that survived. That little bitty one that I repotted. I left it in the bucket where it was growing to begin with, and I planted cucumbers around the other buckets. It looks like it's going to make it, so it'll grow, and I'll be able to take cuttings off of that and start some more tree collards. And there's Melissa Fran. Hello, Melissa. How are you doing? So I mean, with my subscribers and the seeds I saved from last year, I really have not bought any seeds. Everything I've planted this year is from seeds I saved last year and seeds that have been sent to me. In fact, I don't know if I'm going to be able to plant all of them. I'm about to run out of space. I'll have to have my lot cleared over here beside me that I own and move all my garden stuff over there. One day, maybe. I'm not that adventurous yet. I've got enough to handle right now. So, especially when I have to start keeping it watered. I'm great, Melissa. I think the firesider's been working on my allergies. How have you been, Melissa? Yeah, but I said that St. Patty's Day card, it took its time getting here, but it finally made it. So. I was doing great today. I just wasn't motivated to try to do anything because, like I said, it was cloudy all day. The sun never came out. It sprinkled rain off and on. So I didn't want to start anything outside because I knew if I did, it would rain on me. So I did a little short cooking video here in the house. I'll post it tomorrow. Oh, I got 15 thumbs up. That's doing good. You going to work, Randy? Got to eat, pack a lunch. Glad I finally caught alive. I'm glad you caught alive too, Randy. You have a good night at work. I know. Can you imagine? Almost 3,000 subscribers. But I've set my goal to the moon, y'all. I'm not going to stop at 3,000. I want 100,000. Yeah, I mean, I'll take 3,000. I mean, hey, every 1,000 I hit is a milestone. Especially when I first started out, I was wondering if I'd ever get to 1,000. I said, man, I'll never hit 1,000. I'll never get monetized. But I did. I got there. And you can't just take forever to get that 1,000. You have to get your 1,000 subscribers within 12 months. And you've got to have the 4,000 viewing hours within that 12 months. Otherwise, it doesn't work and you got to start all over. But I hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours within my 12 months. You only have 60. Well, you must have just started. Yeah, you keep growing one subscriber at a time. That's the name of the game. Just like I keep going one video at a time. One day at a time. I hate it though when YouTube will knock off subscribers. Because there was one time there I had, what was it, 2,953. The next time I checked on my videos, it had dropped down to 51. But then an hour later, it was right back up again. So it's where YouTube gets rid of the subscribers that are not watching anymore. You know, like maybe the first ones I got way back when I first started. If they're not active, they drop them off. Yeah, well, I hope one subscriber at a time I keep growing. Well, Glenda, you got one more subscriber because I thought I was already subscribed to your channel, but I just went to your channel and I subscribed. So you got one more subscriber. Yeah, and sometimes your subscribers, they'll subscribe to your channel, and then for some reason they go back and they'll unsubscribe. It happens to me every day. I know I had one subscriber. If I didn't put up a cooking video every day, she'd unsubscribe to the channel. As soon as I'd put a cooking video up, she'd subscribe back again. It's like, oh my God, lady. I said, my channel is about gardening, composting, cooking what you eat, all kind of stuff, not just cooking. So you just have to learn to ignore that because you'll get more subscribers. Yeah, well, I thought I had already subscribed to it, but I guess I didn't. I like your daisy hairband you wear in your picture on your channel profile. That's cute. Flower child. I'm fairly new to your channel, Melissa. Yeah, I know, Melissa. I've been seeing you, though, in the last few lives that we've had. And there's Patricia. Hi, Patricia. How's things going? Says, hi, Linda. What's going on? This isn't your channel. What do you... I don't understand, Patricia. What do you mean this isn't my channel? This most certainly is my channel. I don't know. I don't understand that statement. Well, thank you, Snow White. Patricia, I don't know what you're talking about. You said, hi, Linda, what's going on? This isn't your channel. It is my channel or I wouldn't be here. This is Linda Hauser's channel, Lady in the Garden. It most certainly is. So I don't understand that comment. Or are you meaning it's not my night to go live? I just decided at the spur of the moment to go live to see how many people would show up in my chat. Does anybody else in chat know what Patricia's talking about in her comment? You found me by searching gardening in Texas? Well, good. I'm glad you found me, Glenda. I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else's channel. Goofed up. Sorry. That's okay. I'm just glad you're here. I thought you were on someone else's channel. Goofed up. Sorry. Now all of you got me confused. I don't know who else's channel I would be on. Are you going to be doing any live gardening this coming up? I don't know. Usually when I'm in the garden, working in the garden, I'm just moving around so much that it's hard to work the camera for a live and do the gardening at the same time. Now, I might go out there and do a live. I'm not saying I won't, but it'll probably just to be talking with people. It's not going to be probably actually where I'm going to be working in the garden. Because even with trying to film a video, I move around the garden so much, getting one thing another and moving it here and moving it there. It's very hard to keep up with the camera. You can't wait to plant hillbilly tomatoes. Well, I've got them, some of them coming up, and I can't wait to see them produce because I've never planted hillbilly tomatoes before. And these are like a yellow or gold tomato. And I've got several plants started. So I might do a live maybe at the fire pit when I have my next fire out there or something. Just kind of where I can talk with people. Because then too, it's hard to have my computer out there, my camera and everything so I can see chat, so I can talk with people. All of that is pretty difficult to do, just one person. Oh, I have weeds like crazy, all in with my wildflowers that have come up all over my yard, but I'm loving it. My whole yard it's not grass. It's covered in wildflowers. Blue bonnets, all kind of wildflowers. And I refuse to mow because I want my flowers to bloom. Because you know, if you wait and let them bloom, they're going to drop more seeds and they'll just spread more. Patricia lives in South Carolina and was wondering when a good time it was to plant garlic. Well, I planted my garlic back in December. You can plant it right now, probably, because garlic loves cold weather. But yeah, I planted mine back in December with onions and a lot of greens. Oh, really? That's interesting, Kai. IPU. It's a big seed that grows underground, and then we hollow it out and turn it into an instrument. Huh, I've never heard of anything like that. I've heard of growing gourds, but Hawaiian IPU, if you ever want to see. I may look that up on the internet and see what it is. That's interesting. Is it very big? Does it make a big instrument or a small one? How long does it take to harvest? The one time I planted gourds here, I was going to make birdhouses out of them if they grew and did anything. The plants came up and the ants ate every one of those little plants. I didn't have one gourd. They got up about 1 inch tall and the ants devoured those little plants. Yeah, well, that was my plan, but it didn't work out because the ants got hungry. Didn't even give my plants a chance to produce a gourd. How long does it take before you can harvest the garlic? Well, I don't really know. I just let it grow till I decide to go pull some garlic. Same way with my onions. I have Egyptian walking onions, and they're perennial. They come back every single year, and I only cut what I need, or I only pull out what I need, and I've got about 6 pots or totes of Egyptian walking onions right now. Because, when they're walking, so to speak, they produce little baby seed onions at the top, and you can replant them. As soon as you take them off of that that onion, you go plant it, and you'll start another whole pot of walking onion. And my other onions, the yellow onions, and I've got red onions, and I think I got a few of the white onions. I just wait till I see that the onions are big enough, and if I want an onion, I'll go pull one up. That way I don't have to go buy onions. And I cook a lot with onions, so. Oh no, your fig tree, the ants killed it. So I've never tried to plant gourds again because the ants don't eat my other plants, but they sure devoured those little gourd plants. And there's Gladys. Hey Gladys, I figured you were sleeping this late. I just decided about an hour ago that I was going to go live and just see how many people would come in to chat. And we've been talking about gardening. Sometimes I like to plant things that I've never planted before just to see if it'll grow and see what it does when it grows. Oh, your pad's still going on and off? No, Connie didn't come. She's probably asleep. Or she may not know I'm live because I didn't notify anybody. I mean, when I go live, YouTube should notify all my subscribers that have hit the notification bell. I watched you start your garlic in a saucer last year, so I did the same. Then I planted him, but wasn't sure when to harvest. Well, you can move the dirt from around the garlic stem right at the dirt and see how big your bulb is. And if you think your bulb is big enough that you can pull it out, you can go ahead and harvest one. I've long ago pulled mine out, and I've already eaten the garlic that I grew last year. But I do my garlic like I do the onions. I pull it out as I need it if it's big enough. Yeah, I'm surprised April hasn't showed up because it's earlier for her, just like it is for you, Kai. But you know, she's a busy girl. She stays busy working and taking care of her animals, and so she probably doesn't even know I'm live right now. Freelancer, hi there. How's Freelancer doing? She may join in if she ever sits down to catch a breath and checks her phone. But she doesn't expect for me to be live on a Friday night because I don't usually go live on Friday. But I've had some of my subscribers tell me that you need to go live more often. So that's one reason I decided to go live. I don't know. It seemed like I've seen your name come up in my chat before, Freelancer. I don't know what part of the country you're from. Do you think a fig tree would... A lot of people grow fig trees in a pot. Just get you a great big old 22-gallon or 24-gallon pot and plant you a fig tree in it. I got some of those They're actually laundry tubs, and they have the rope handles on them, and they're like 22 gallons or something like that. And you can pick them up for like $7 or $8. I've got several of them out here that I've planted stuff in. I've been thinking about getting a fig tree. I've never tried one, but I love figs, so I figured, well, maybe I need to try growing one. But if the ants ate yours, they'd probably devour mine because if I planted one, because the ants are so bad around here. You have a big one like that, Glenda? I put my banana tree in one, and then the other banana tree is in a 5-gallon bucket because they're only about this tall. And I said if they survive and they start to grow, they get too big, I can always transplant them out of that bucket and put them in a bigger pot. And if I thought it would survive after they start growing some and get some size to them, I may even think about putting them in the ground. I don't know, but I think it's going to be too dry here for them. Banana trees love water. Connie's messaging me, but I can't answer her message because I'm using my camera. Can you send her a message, Gladys? She just sent me a message, but I can't answer it. Oh, wow. That's terrible, Kai. Yeah, I know Freelancer was here before. I remember seeing him before. How are you going to do that, Freelancer? You're going to give me 2,000 subscribers a month. And how much is that going to cost me? I've got several people contacting me wanting me to let them grow my channel, but I know that comes with a price tag. Do you have to deal with banana tree disease? I don't know. Kai, this is the first time I've attempted to plant banana trees. So this is just going to be a trial and error. I bought 2 little pups. They're only that tall. And I planted them in it's a separate pot. And I'm just going to see what happens. Yeah, Glenda, it's always at a price. And I don't have money. Hi, Shelley. I showed your St. Patty's Day card a little while ago. I told everybody that you sent it, and it finally got here. We didn't know where it had ended up. And she sent me seeds. Look at there. Onion, arugula, and nasturtium. I've never planted arugula before. I need to try that. Because I plant tons of greens, so. Yeah, we figured that this St. Patty's Day card went to cyberspace or somewhere. And you know, I noticed too that even though it made it here, it's not been stamped by the post office. Usually the post office will stamp it, and it hasn't been stamped at all. It's just like it was when you put it in just like it was when you mailed it. Yeah, it's a really cute card, that little bear on the front. Yeah, I know, Gladys. I know. Oh, only $100 a month. I don't think so. Bye-bye, freelancer. What Shelly been doing today? It's been raining. Yeah, it's been cloudy here all day. It sprinkled off and on a little bit. The sun didn't come out at all. So I wasn't able to do anything much in the yard. I did, almost about dark, I got out and transplanted hillbilly tomato and Charleston gray watermelon and a canary yellow melon. But that's about all I did outside. I did a cooking video today that I'll post tomorrow. I know, it's nothing but a scam, Kai. That's the reason I deleted his messages. You'll be outside tomorrow? Yeah, I don't think it's going to rain here tomorrow. It should be fair enough to be able to do something outside. Yes, I did, Gladys. You planted the nasturtiums? They're pretty flowers. I planted a few of them out there in that half wine barrel that I've got. You did too, Gladys? The leaves remind you of lily pads. They do have pretty leaves on them. How's Gladys's wooden Indian? Probably standing in the corner. She sent me a text message a little while ago, but I couldn't check the message. She might be telling me that she can't come into live because she's got to work. That might be what it is. Favorite movie go? I'll have some free time once the boys are down. Yeah, they're right at the age, Kai, that they can keep you busy. That wooden Indian gets around, Gladys. Yeah, I can't bring her message up on this other app over here. I'll have to wait till my live's over to see what Connie was sending me a message about. My pad keeps shutting off and on. It's all tapped up. Have y'all ever planted the Oriental corn? No, I have not. Some of the corn grows around the bird feeder out here, you know, where the birds drop the seed and it voluntarily comes up around the base of the feeder. And I usually just let it grow, but it starts getting too hot and dry out here and it just never does anything. But it got me thinking. I said, well, if it'll come up and grow on its own if I put it in a pot with some good rich dirt in there. It would probably grow and produce some corn. But I haven't planted any. I should try some. I don't have enough space to plant very much corn. It's a different color corn. I know there's all different colors of corn. There's the Indian corn. There's corn that each kernel on the cob is all a different color. And I don't remember what they call that. I'll have to try some and just see what it'll do. I wonder what kind of corn it is that they put in the bird seed that grows voluntarily out there when the birds drop it. I wonder if I could transplant corn. Listen to me. I'm talking about transplanting corn. I don't know if it could be done. I don't know if it would live after you dug it up to move it. Yeah, let's see what time it is here. 12:06 a.m. is what I've got. We've been on for what, almost 2 hours here. Good night, Snow White. I'm glad you could come. I guess I'll get off of here too and let you all go back to sleep or back to your daily routine or whatever it was you were doing, depending on where you live, what time of evening it is. What, Linda, is Cinderella to write? Tonight. I don't know. Shelley says she's a night owl. I usually stay up till 1, 2 o'clock. Half the time I don't sleep at night. Part of the time I don't. Then I sleep half a day. And then I'm up, or I'm ready to be up all night the next night. Well, there's Ann Watson. Hello, Ann. Glad you could join us. So I slept late this morning because I had a hard time going to sleep last night. So I'm really not sleepy, even though I was yawning a while ago. Are you feeling any better, Ann? Stay up late and get up early. Gladys says Shelly baked some good brownies. Kai said special brownies. I can imagine. Oh, that's right. You were supposed to go to the congestive heart clinic. Did everything go okay there? Night, I'll be looking for your video in the morning. Okay, Nancy, you have a blessed night. They gave me IV meds to pull some fluid off of me. Well, I'm hoping you're feeling better by now then. You like my light on the ceiling? It's an antique. I want a garden video 3 hours long. Well, I tell you what, some of them I've done lately have been almost 3 hours long. Looks like a flower. Yeah, it does, kind of. I like all those little smiley faces and stuff y'all are posting. Gladys says, I'm saying nothing. Noted. Too Tall Rob just posted or he just went live. And I can't find it now. There it is. Look at there. I hope y'all can see them. Those raccoons on Too Tall Rob's porch. That's why he hangs donuts. He feeds those raccoons. He has them come up on his porch like that every night. I guess he feeds them every night. See if it'll turn sideways. It won't. But there's at least 3 or 4 of them. 5. I don't know how many of them are up there eating. One of them just flopped down on the railing. There's 4 of them up there. It must be a whole family of raccoons. I got raccoons, possum, and God knows what else that comes out in my yard. But I try not to feed them. They like to eat in my garden. I don't know, but evidently he doesn't grow anything around his yard that he cares that they eat. Because those raccoons can be destructive. He was talking about hanging donuts, and I went and I watched one of his lives one night where he was hanging donuts. And all you saw was that donut hanging there. There was no raccoons, no animals or nothing that came there to eat it. And I said, well, what is the point of him hanging donuts? Well, I accidentally caught another one of his lives one night. And I saw why. There was 4 or 5 raccoons on the banister up there eating. And there was a donut hanging, and they had been eating on that too. Yeah, those things can be destructive if you're not careful. They'll eat up my garden. Like one come in there one year and took off with one of my cantaloupes, come back the next day and ate part of one and just left it. But the first one he took with him. He must have liked that one. They'll eat your corn too. Well, I guess that's one good thing about planting in pots and totes and having them up off the ground the way I do most of mine, is the animals can't get up there to them. I don't like them either. I mean, I like to watch them, if they're not in my yard. Yeah, they're cute, but they are destructive. It was about 10 minutes ago, but I can't check the message because I've got the camera on. But you don't need to message her. It's too late. She needs to get sleep. She's probably going to work. Or I don't know if she works tomorrow or not. I don't know what days she works and what days she doesn't. But she probably sent me a message telling me that she couldn't come into live because she needed sleep or something like that. And that's okay. Well, y'all, it is almost 12:30 a.m. She works on Saturday. I thought she did. Pad going off. Well, ladies and guys and gentlemen, we've been on here for about 2 hours now, so I think I'm going to end the live so y'all can get back to whatever you were doing or maybe go to sleep. I don't know. I've enjoyed each and every one of you, though. I've had a good time in this chat tonight. So y'all have a good night. Have a blessed day tomorrow. Have a fantastic weekend. And I'll be checking back with you later, I guess. Y'all have a good night. Bye.